Oh, where to begin with this mess? This is such a mess that I have gotten myself into. Um, and I'm going to do my best to sort of explain it all and sort it out. I don't know what's real. I don't know what's fake. A part of me wants to believe that this is all fake. Like, this is all fake. But there's a little nagging voice in the back of my mind that wants to believe it's all real. Could it be real? I don't know. Could it? Maybe, maybe not. It's probably real. Probably not real. You know, they say the truth is stranger than fiction. Fiction is stranger than the truth. Either which way, I've really just sort of gotten myself stuck at the bottom of the pickle jar. And now I'm going to have to, I don't know, try and climb my way back out. Let me sort of let's start from the beginning, shall we? Just a quick overview. How you doing tonight, Jody Ramone? Jody Ramone in the house. Let me start with a super quick overview. So basically, a while back, a gentleman was going hard on Facebook about how they wanted to take somebody out for steak and lobster every day. Who wants to eat steak and lobster? I'm making fat stacks of cash. It just like stack after stack after stack, allegedly making stack after stack after stack of cash. It just got disgusting. It was getting disgusting. Finally, one day, I take up this gentleman on his offer. I take him up on his offer. I say, okay, I will go with you to get steak and lobster. Mind you, this is a little awkward because what's going on, Room Morg? Mind you, this is a little awkward because I have not seen or spoken to this person probably 15 years, but here he is offering me, because when I see somebody, offering something on Facebook, I assume, when I'm reading something, I imagine that they are talking to me, when they are speaking rhetorically out into the internet ether, right? In that kind of way. He's offering me steak and lobster. I'm going, okay, I'm going to take the steak and lobster. It might be a really awkward dinner because we haven't seen each other or spoken to each other really in a very incredibly long time. But, you're making fat stacks of cash and I am hungry and I love steak and I love lobster. Why not have a steak and lobster dinner with you? You say you're buying, so then buy me a steak and lobster dinner. Now, this gentleman reneges on his promise. He flakes on me. I asked him, I say, let's set it up. He goes, okay, we'll set it up. Then he never follows through. 4 years later, I think it's 4 years later, I'm talking with a friend who we will call Jeremy X. We'll call him Jeremy X. That's the only way to describe this friend. How you doing, Andrew? I'm glad you like the content. Unfortunately, this is not content tonight, Andrew. This is a very serious situation, and I really don't know what to do. I might be in deep trouble. I might be in really deep trouble. So my friend Jeremy X, he brings up the fact that I am owed a steak and lobster dinner. I'm like, God damn it, you're right. I am owed a steak and lobster dinner. I go to this person who makes fat stacks of cash, who put out the offer in the first place. We all know him as the stacked one. I go to his page and I can't find it. You know why? I've been blocked. He blocked me on Facebook. I go to Instagram. Apparently, I guess if you block on Facebook, you also block on Instagram as well. So I am blocked all the way through. I can't get through to this guy. I don't have his phone number. He doesn't have my phone number, I don't think. There's no way to contact him. So I start screaming out into the ether. Hello, Robbie Bloodshed. Robbie Bloodshed is here tonight, waving. I scream out into the ether, calling him out, asking him to be a man of his word, and buy me a steak and lobster dinner like he promised 4 years ago. That's what he promised me 4 years ago. I screamed and screamed and screamed to no avail. Eventually, I reached out to a freelance social adjuster. A social adjuster, he's unlicensed. He is unlicensed. He's an unlicensed social adjuster. And I reached out to him and I said, hey, what do you think of this situation? And he painstakingly, piece by piece by piece, looked at all sides of the situation and determined that I was, in fact, socially obligated to be bought a steak and lobster dinner, meaning that I was the one who deserved to be treated to such a prize. And that was it. That everything was good and dandy. And then this started. Okay. I started about 3 days ago. I started receiving phone calls and emails from an unknown number and an unknown email address, informing me the only name that was made available to me was the name of Rogers. So I was being informed that actions were going to be taken against me. I was going to be in deep trouble if I kept up lobbying for the steak and lobster dinner. I started to get really, really scared. And I have I've tried to take some precautions here. So what I have done is I have actually reached out to another unlicensed professional, mind you, completely 100% unlicensed, but also professional. Mr. Legalment is here tonight. He's waiting. He is going to help possibly mediate a situation with the one known as Mr. Rogers. Mr. Rogers, I believe, represents the stacked one, the one with the fat stacks of fat cash in his pockets. And I'm hoping that we can get this all sorted. So here's the deal. Basically, right now, Rogers is waiting on a call from me, but he doesn't know that I'm live right now. He has no clue. He is completely in the dark. He has no idea that I am projecting this to the internet. And the reason why is because I have a feeling that it could be all BS. And if it is all BS, then at least we all bear witness to it. So what we're going to do now is just to sort of make this seem as plausible as possible, just in case we don't want him to know what's going on. So let's switch this over to a Zoom sort of situation here. There we go. We're going to make this look as normal as possible. Hopefully he'll fall for it. There we go. Now doesn't this look more like a Zoom meeting room? Hopefully. So I'm going to call him right now and have him come in via the link, and we will see. And then we'll bring in Mr. Legalment to hopefully help us negotiate everything. Hopefully we can get everything under control here. Okay. Oh, let me take off my glasses here and try to get this. Okay. This looks more like a legitimate call now. Okay. Let's try this out. Let's see what happens. Hopefully the situation will resolve itself.
Hello, Mr. Frumess.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi.
So,
Mr. Rogers, I presume.
Yes. And so as we discussed a little bit over the phone and email, my client, an entrepreneurial businessman.
Over the phone or email, you've been harassing me for days.
Well, we're going to get to that as to who the main harassing party is. Now, my client.
Well, hold on a second. Before we do anything further, I don't feel comfortable doing this without having some sort of unlicensed representation. So I'm going to bring out Mr. Legalment here.
Mr. Legalment.
Hi.
Mr. Legalment here. Hello, Mr. Frumess.
Hi. Tim Legalment. This is negotiation advocate Rogers.
Hello, Mr. Rogers.
Hello, Mr. Legalment. Now,
let's get the proceedings underway.
Yes. So,
hear us out, Mr. Legalment. Sorry.
As you may or may not know, my client is an entrepreneur. He makes fat stacks, copious amounts of stacks. It's a disgusting amount of stacks. He needs a barn for said stacks, and has no time for such frivolities. For months now, you've been harassing my client over social media, and we are asking that you cease and desist right now, or we will.
That's not true. It has not been months. It was just a few days where I could not reach your client at all. Allegedly, could not reach him at all.
Nevertheless, we do have evidence. We do have screenshots of posts reaching out, calling out to.
Of course, I didn't delete any of them. They're all there. It's for anybody who wants to see.
And we're asking, and if you proceed further, there will be legal ramifications. So we're asking that
like what?
Well, you will see, and that will be seen in time. Hopefully, it doesn't come to that, but there are certain, this could constitute harassment, and that is, there could be a suit there.
Mr. Legalment, does he have any grounds for any of this sort of chicanery?
In my background with surf and turf, it was always granted. Surf and turf was always granted. What Mr. Negotiation Advocate Rogers seems to be portraying here is more of a smurf and flurf.
Well, smurf and flurf is not quite what this is. I mean, I have worked surf and flurf cases before. This is not one such case. This certainly is a surf and turf, and what is being requested is unreasonable, and we simply will not honor such.
Why is this unreasonable? He offered steak and lobster to me on social media. I accepted. Well, it was a retort. He put it out there for anyone to say yes to, and I said yes.
Was this a legal binding document? This is simply social media. I mean, we cannot take such a thing seriously. Were there any signatures involved? Did you get a signature from my client? This is certainly not a legally binding contract.
Unfortunately, because your client chose to block me, I do not have any receipts for Mr. Legalment here, but I have to tell you that 150 billion% it was agreed upon, and it's good. It's his word. If his word is not good, then what good is his word?
Well, the issue here is he is not legally bound to provide this this dinner of which you speak.
He offered. I'm sorry, Mr. Legalman, do you have any comment on such matters?
Yes, if I may cite Johnson versus Watson. It was a 2015 Facebook debate that occurred, and it was promised that a bucket of KFC chicken was to be provided to Johnson, and Watson reneged, and in court it did show that Johnson was owed the bucket of chicken, and that is what occurred. This sounds like a very similar cut and dry case to me, Mr. Frumess.
I don't think you have any choice but to make good on your promise. And if you choose to come after me in any sort of way, then I, in turn, will have to come in after you in some sort of way.
So that's a bucket of chicken. It was.
That's correct.
Mr. Not a movie case. That wasn't a sandwich.
No, it was a bucket of chicken.
Were there any sauces with that chicken?
There were a couple of sauces provided, yes.
And any kind of accoutrements, such as fries. I don't know if KFC does.
The fried wedges, yes, and the potatoes with the gravy. Actually, I believe it was at the time when they had the full bucket with the potatoes on top of the chicken, on top of the corn.
I'm sorry.
It was quite delicious.
I'm gonna.
I'm sorry. I just have to. I'm just so emotional because I just really.
It's very common to get emotional in these situations, gentlemen. It's very common. I've done this many times.
It's really. I really thought he was going to take me for mistaken.
This is a very clear surf and turf situation.
I'm sorry. I needed to be professional.
It's all right.
I've inhaled a feather in my throat. It's tickling my throat and making me very. My eyes are watering.
I lost my composure back in 2018 during the dollar menu argument. It was a very difficult one. There was not enough pickles on someone's sandwich, and a riot almost occurred in court.
Mr. Legalman, I'm petitioning to you right now as an unlicensed representative of the bureaucratic process to henceforth have Negotiation Advocate Rogers make good on the surf and turf deal as promised by the stacked one.
Just a moment.
I will allow it. Mr. Rogers, yes.
Let me call my client for a moment, see what we can get together. and
Okay.
Is that allowed? Is he allowed to make a phone call like that?
I would normally do it in privacy myself. Apparently he wants to. Is this the Mr. Stacks in question, Mr. Frumess, or this is the alleged Mr. Stacks?
This is allegedly the stacked one. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Right?
So, is it the pancake stack? Is it? Would he be more? What about if he brought you to IHOP? Maybe
requested
be a possibility. I don't know if you're looking for more of a dinner, though. Yes,
a bucket of chicken.
So
was
hopefully this can be sorted out.
Bring us to, if I can negotiate something. I think that maybe we need to provide something. Given that a case was cited where a bucket of chicken was provided, I think that I can maybe negotiate something for us. So if you can, I'll see what I can get us done. Okay. All right. Okay. We have terms, and allow me to lay them out.
You're saying you have an offer for us.
I do have an offer. We have decided on a filet of fish from McDonald's. And we
a fillet of fish.
Yes.
After the promise of a friggin' steak and lobster dinner, a fillet of fish? Are you out of your mind?
Okay, filet of fish and a quarter pounder, and so that you have your surf and turf.
You're reaching, Mr. Rogers.
That is outrageous. It is absolutely outrageous that you would make such an offer as that. Shame on you. Negotiation advocate Rogers, shame on you.
Put cheese on it.
I'm sorry?
We'll put cheese on it.
No. The answer is no. I refuse.
I don't believe steak or lobster has cheese on them, Mr. Rogers.
Okay. Well, okay. I'm not there yet. You mentioned cheese. I'm not at that yet. Okay. We could be willing to Applebee's. Anything off of the value menu.
How about what about the sample platter, the sample appetizer sampler?
You do the appetizer sampler, and we call it a deal. We'll draft up the document.
No. Appetizer sampler plus steak and lobster.
Oh, okay.
I'll allow it.
All right, let me see what the. Okay, appetizer sampler plus steak and lobster. It's at Applebee's. I don't know. They eat the little quesadillas with the things.
Let's see how stacked Mr. Stacks really is.
Mm-hmm. That has the little quesadillas, right?
Yeah.
Mozzarella sticks.
You know what? No. It won't do. I will not settle for Applebee's. Let's keep going. Let's keep going.
No, he's not going to settle.
I want better than that. I deserve better than that.
Peter Luger's is a nice steakhouse.
Peter Luger's. Yes, Peter Luger's
is a very good one. I would like to try that one as well.
I would like Peter Luger's, please.
Yes.
All right.
Would Mr. Stacks be willing to also provide a steak and lobster for myself as well? I'm a big fan of Peter Luger's.
That's right, because listen,
yes, it's only fair.
I'm out of pocket on Tim right now.
This is true.
Tim Legalman. Do you think he just came here of his own accord? He's on the dollar. He is on the dollar. He's on the U.S. dollar right now, not the Canadian dollar, not the Mexican peso, the U.S. dollar. So therefore, I feel that he also should be entitled to a steak and lobster dinner concurrent with my steak and lobster dinner. We want concurrent steak and lobster dinners.
They don't call me Tim Legal Mint for nothing.
Okay. Let me see what we can do. Okay. Okay, sir. Okay. They are offering concurrent steak and lobster dinners. Applebee's is a no-go. Peter Luger's.
This is so ridiculous.
Okay.
It's one of the worst I've seen.
This is not cool.
I like that idea. Okay, good. Okay. All right. Okay. We will meet the concurrent steak and lobster dinners. However, we have terms. My client has asked that you pay for the cost of transportation, and it has to be a limo, not just any limo, but an Escalade limo. And you must pay for the tip. And my client would like to go to Carvel for dessert, and also expects the cost to be covered for the dessert. We will accept.
That's outrageous.
We will accept Fudgy the Whale or Cookie Puss, any ice cream based.
Mr. Stacks should be providing the Cookie Puss.
Yes.
We want Cookie Puss, but we want Stacks to give the Cookie Puss.
Yes.
If Stacks doesn't give us the Cookie Puss, then we don't want it.
Well, I think Mr. Stacks is being more than generous in providing the steak and lobster.
Yes, but the idea behind the steak and lobster is that everything is covered, all expenses paid, including the Cookie Puss.
We're not cookie pussing around here, Mr. Rogers.
Not
you are speaking to Screaming Jeff Frumess, not Church Mouse Jeff Frumess.
That's right.
All right. What if we did half of the Cookie Puss?
I don't want half a Cookie Puss. I want a full Cookie Puss and a Fudgy the Whale.
I'm a major full puss man.
It's got to be one or the other. We can't have a Fudgy the Whale and a Cookie Puss. It's just not doable.
I don't see any other way around this, negotiation advocate Rogers.
I won't allow it.
Why don't we switch to Baskin Robbins? I think that maybe that could be an easier choice.
Okay, but we require 27 flavors of the 31 flavors of Baskin Robbins.
How about 9 of the flavors?
11.
I think what we could do is just sample all of them with those little tiny spoons. That way, there's no cost to any of us. We provide, you provide the transportation.
What kind of cheap bullshit is that?
Well,
this has to have the glamorosity of a steak and lobster dinner.
Well,
my time is money, gentlemen, and I'm getting to the point where I would like a Cookie Puss guaranteed.
I think we need a Cookie Puss guarantee.
I think the Cookie Puss ship has sailed, gentlemen.
In fact, I think Mr. Stack should provide the Escalade limo with Cookie Puss accompaniment inside.
Well, the Escalade limo is required because my client does have a brand to protect and travels in style. There's a certain reputation to maintain, and this is why he needs that paid for. If you would be so kind and offer.
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll make you a deal. How about this? Give us the Escalade, give us the Cookie Puss, the Fudgy the Whale, and we'll downgrade the lobster portion of the steak and lobster to 2 shrimp cocktails a piece, making for a total of 4 shrimp cocktails and 2 steaks.
How many shrimp?
I'll allow it.
How many shrimp are in the shrimp cocktail?
I would say 12 shrimp a piece, so it'd be a dozen shrimp.
I'll allow it.
Okay. Now, what kind of sauce is this? Is this the Heinz?
Cocktail sauce
Mm-hmm.
to go with the Cookie Puss.
Not sure why there was such a long pause between cock and tail, but anyway.
What are you trying to insinuate, negotiation advocate Rogers?
Well, I don't know, but again, it's just it seemed a tad unnecessary to make that pause.
You seem a tad unnecessary right now.
Well, now you're just.
I'll allow that.
Mr. Legalman will allow anything that goes in this hung jury kangaroo court that you've established, negotiation advocate Rogers.
Yeah, you did it again.
Hung. Cock. He's screaming Jeff Frumess.
This is.
He can say what he wants. Client, friend, buddy, he knows he knows exactly what he wants, and he is an honorable and respected man in the community.
Listen to me. Fat Stacks provided a luxurious dinner offer to me of steak and lobster, and so far, every which way it has been denied, and I will not rest until I have final satisfaction. You can harass me. You can leave me emails. You can leave me text messages. You can call. You can leave voicemails. You can write on my Facebook wall. You can slide into my DMs. But one thing is for certain, you will abide the steak and lobster as initially promised, sort of circumventing every other element that we have discussed, whether it be Cookie Puss or cocktail sauce or Fudgy the Whale or anything. Oh, God. got a cramp in my cheek. Ah.
Well, I believe the shrimp cocktail will suffice.
I don't think that shrimp cocktail will work unless it's 12 shrimp apiece, making for a total of 24 shrimp.
24 shrimp, you said?
Yeah. On top of the lobster dinner. So we want steak, lobster, and 2 shrimp cocktails.
Oh, no.
And don't forget the cookie puss.
Yes, with cookie puss for dessert.
You're not pardoning the cookie puss any longer.
We don't pardon cookie puss.
No cookie puss pardon.
There's no cookie puss pardon here. There is interest. That's absolutely right. There is interest involved, and this dinner has not been delivered on in 4 years. In fact, you could times this dinner by 52, times that by 4, and that's the equivalent of how many dinners I'm probably rightfully owed. And all we're asking for is 2 steak and lobster dinners, 1 for me and 1 for Tim Legalment, negotiation advocate Rogers.
And where did you say you wanted this?
Peter Luger's and Morton's, at least.
There's a lot of interest after 4 years. If Mr. Stacks does not realize this.
Oh, whoa! I think he does. Well, let me see how he feels about the shrimp cocktail. And
Yes.
You say whatever. It doesn't matter. What matters is what's right, and what's right is a cookie puss.
Hello?
Right in my mouth.
Cookie puss is always correct.
Yes, they want the shrimp cocktail. Shrimp cocktail. Yes.
2 shrimp cocktails.
Yes, 2 shrimp cock.
Cock.
Now I'm doing it. See, he was. Well, that was. I think it was as part of I think this is a power play where he tries to trip me up and pauses there. But I think shrimp cocktails. They said that they want the cookie puss covered.
What's your deal, negotiation advocate Rogers? What's your deal? Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone right now. What is your deal? Let's get to the bottom of what and who you are.
Okay.
Hang up the phone. Hang up the phone.
All right.
Forget about the steak and lobster for a minute. Who are you? Where did you go to high school?
I'm a very successful litigator. I have credentials.
Are you licensed or unlicensed?
Oh, licensed, of course.
By what authority?
The authority, the University of Microsoft.
Haven't heard of that one.
Yes.
Sounds a little fishy.
That sounds a little fishy. Unlike the dinner you've been supposed to be provided this entire time.
Yes. Well, it's
fish.
Yeah.
It's my understanding that you are under the employ of your client, but not as necessarily from a litigator stance, and perhaps that you actually wash all the tires and rims of the cars in the transportation business operated by your client.
Rogers, have you ever been known to be a professional troll?
Well, I can assure you,
Mr. Rogers, it's my understanding that you provide a very good rim job.
well,
tires, of course.
It's the word on the street.
I do. I am good at rimming. It is a good rim job. Wait a minute. I see what you're doing here. Childish games.
So where are we with the steak and lobster dinner at this point? I'm getting tired of this charade.
Well, don't be fooled. I'm a real lawyer. This tie is not okay. It is, but never mind that.
Time is money, Mr. Rogers.
Yes,
time is indeed money.
Yes. Well, the 12 shrimp, dozen shrimp. You said, is that the gray or the pink shrimp?
We would want pink shrimp.
We want the pink shrimp.
So I'll allow it.
So that's 12 in the pink.
Yeah.
Okay.
Finally, it seems we're making some process here. Let's get every detail ironed out so that we can be on our merry way.
All right. So we have the 2 steak and lobster dinners. Is that that's the correct?
Yeah.
Okay. 2 steak lobster dinners.
I'll allow it.
From Morton's.
12 shrimp cocktails. Okay, Morton's. Okay. 12 shrimp cocktails. 12.
I'll allow it.
Okay. And the cookie puss.
I will definitely allow that.
We want 2 cookie pusses. One we want to be one should be cookie dough, a cookie dough cookie puss, and one should be a mint Oreo cookie puss.
Mint Oreo.
Yeah.
We get that down to pistachio.
Pistachio is the same color, but a different flavor profile.
Yes, I feel that we could have the appearance of a higher quality flavor.
I think you're trying to once again nickel and dime us here, because it just so happens that a pint of pistachio ice cream is $4 or $5 cheaper than a pint of mint Oreo chocolate chip ice cream.
What if
More Smurf and Flurf tactics by Mr. Rogers.
Typical Smurf and Flurf job from Rogers.
Well, as it happens, the McShamrock Shake is out right now. What if we went with that as an alternative?
The problem with that is that a shake is not actually a shake at McDonald's, and we talked about Carvel for dessert. There was no mention of McDonald's. Would the McDonald's happen before or after the Morton's dinner?
I believe that would be after the Morton's dinner, as we go in the Escalade.
Mr. Rogers, I am getting hungry, and I don't know about Mr. Frumess, but I believe he is as well. Judging by the fact this has taken 4 years to get set in place, how are we supposed to imagine that a promise of this shake you speak of will even be around by the time that this dinner is offered?
Well, I think a concrete show. This should be dinner and a show as well.
A show,
yeah. Perhaps a comedy showcase of some kind.
Oh, I do know of a comedy showcase. Actually, this Friday, there is a free stand-up comedy showcase happening at the Dobbs Ferry Public Library, featuring some very, very hilarious comedians, such as Alex Kolar, Andrew Steiner, Jesse Murphy, and a couple of others, Sean Conran, and Murph, and another one, Mr. Deary. Here he's a very, very funny man. It's 8 o'clock this Friday, or this Saturday, 8 o'clock this Saturday at the Dobbs Ferry Public Library, a free show.
You know, it's funny. Comedy shows are a lot like stickers. They're shiny, sticky, funny, kind of like the stickers at riotstickers.com, where you can get 1,000 stickers for $79, which is 7 cents per sticker. Check the link in the description. But
that's a deal.
That is a good deal. But the reality is we are entitled to steak and lobster dinners. And I believe at this point, negotiation advocate Rogers, that you should be the one who cooks the dinners yourself. It should be you.
Well, I don't believe this was ever brought up. I think Morton.
I think Mr. Rogers might look nice in a tight little red apron, don't you, Mr. Frumess?
I agree. I think you should wear a tight apron and perhaps some sort of tassels around the Napoleon region. The Napoleon region tends to get cold and chafed during in the dry climates of kitchens. God, did someone fart? I had to hold it hard. The whole.
Make sure to use your Swiffer, swift up the place before we get there.
I've
don't like a dusty lobster.
Oh my God, it's very dusty down here.
My allergies are acting up as well.
As I was saying, oh God, I'm so weak.
Mr. Rogers to come swift the place.
Yeah. So anyway, as I was saying, a tight red apron, perhaps with some tassels to cover the Napoleon regions, to prevent chafing in the dry kitchen environment would be good.
I don't believe I ever agreed to this, so I think that we will have to review the terms.
I think, considering the fact that you lost your case for your client, that you probably should acquiesce to save him a dollar or two, as we all know that he likes to keep his fat stacks of cash.
Yes,
The proverbial fat variety.
yes, as we know, he has the fat stacks.
I would propose, gentlemen, just as a maybe just a fun little adventure as well. There, maybe a stop by the Romantic Depot afterwards.
I could be open to that as well. How about this? What if for dessert, instead of the cookie puss, negotiation advocate Rogers, I'd like you to provide a cookie, chocolate chip, circular cookie in the center of a room on a tall stool, where we will all gather around the baked dessert and turn off the lights and ice the cookie. And whoever ices the cookie last has to eat the cookie for dessert while the others watch.
I believe this is known as the nookie.
Got it.
Councilman Rogers, I guess that
Seems to be
your
himself.
this is your real lot in life, Councilman Rogers, it seems.
The taste of bleach flavored cookie.
I don't know what you might be ingesting. I think maybe you should start sipping on the pineapple juice, perhaps, and lay off the coffee a little bit there, Councilman Rogers. Negotiation advocate Rogers. Where did you even get your degree? The University of Microsoft.
The University of Intel Core 17 also.
Yeah. So just to review, where are we with these terms?
We will consider the terms of the cooking terms and the tassels around the Napoleon region. We would have to review. We would have to get our researchers on board what exactly the Napoleon region is, but it is possible.
Tim Legalment, what kind would this operation have to be bottomless, or would it in fact involve some sort of pantular containment for the bottom nether regions of the cookie, the cooker in the cookie process?
I believe that bottomless is the best choice. I'll allow it.
You heard him. He will allow it. Now, if I may recommend, the floor be lubricated with Vaseline, top to bottom, no shoes. You can wear socks, but you have to cut off the tips of the socks to reveal the various phalanges sprung forth from them.
What about Crocs? Crocs on the table.
Crocs are an atrocity of footwear. Are we not all on the same page on that? If we can't be all on the same page on that.
Unfortunately, I do not believe any Crocs could be allowed.
Yes, no Crocs.
No Crocs. Okay.
No.
We'll look into this.
I also would request a game of hide the hanky to be placed.
Yes, hide the hanky. It's a good one.
We would have to do some research into said game and know the legal ramifications of.
Perhaps, Mr. Rogers, with you and some of your mates from Microsoft University, an elephant walk maybe as well we could add in.
I believe an elephant walk is in order.
Elephant walk.
Yes. You're familiar with the procedure.
I can't say that I am, but it sounds
trunk to tail. We walk around faster than a snail. The elephant walk.
Well, it sounds intriguing, but
I'll allow it.
He's gonna allow it. Yes, where are we right now with these negotiations?
Well, the cookie could be made, which could be done in lieu of the cookie puss. So perhaps
no. We absolutely want we want two cookie pusses, one Fudgy the Whale.
Cookie puss is a binding document.
What if instead of the cookie puss, instead of the cookie, we finish onto the cookie puss?
Wow. Didn't even consider that. So you're saying ice the cookie puss and not the cookie?
Yes, it's quite breathtaking when you have the combination.
Perhaps penetration might be involved.
Of the cookie puss?
Yeah.
I think if you were to do such a thing, Fudgy the Whale is preferable.
Penetration of Fudgy the Whale.
Yes. The just the consistency of the fudge.
Might get a little sloppier.
Makes for sorry. I am all for the fudgy consistency of the Fudgy the Whale. That would work. What about sloppy grandma in the proceedings?
Well, is anyone's grandma still with us?
Well, I'm not necessarily recommending any which one of our grandmothers, present or unpresent, but rather ready and willing grandma for the proceedings.
We would have to. We at such short notice, it would be hard to find one willing. But
well, hold on a second. There are many retirement homes in the area. We could spiderweb out the three of us.
Yes.
Tim Legalment, negotiation advocate Rogers, and myself. We could all spiderweb around the immediate vicinity, looking for willing recruits.
Now that there's been a recent winter storm, New Rochelle area, there may be some homes that have gotten flooded, and perhaps some nursing home attendees that need somewhere to stay for the night. Something to think about. Mr. Rogers, are you more of a puss man or a fudge man?
Well, it depends on the time of day.
I think that as long as, what kind of garments are we discussing here?
Well, there is the standard bear costume or gorilla costume. I think we would think
banana,
an animal theme, perhaps.
With banana, the gorilla costume.
What kind of animals would there a sloth be involved?
Sloth. We would need a few more days for a sloth, but gorilla or bear or could be done within 24 hours.
What about a donkey?
Donkey. Let me reach my client, see if we can.
Okay.
I think we're coming close here to a
understanding. I think
remember that donkey
where we want to be, Mr. Frumess.
I think that the donkey.
I think if we slip it to him just in the right way, we're going to get what we want.
Okay.
Yes, slip it real good.
You have the donkey still. Okay, great. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
Slippery when wet, of course.
Yes.
So, okay. Final. Let's lay this all out in a final closing agreement here, so we can all put this behind us and go home.
All right. Okay. Well, looks like we have the shrimp cocktail, a dozen shrimp.
Yeah.
The cocktail sauce.
Yeah.
Yep.
Morton Steakhouse.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The 2 steak dinners, 2 lobster dinners.
Yes.
That's the I cook.
You definitely cook.
With the tassels around the Napoleon region.
Yes.
Okay.
Red apron.
Red it shall be. And then we did we agree on marinating the cookie puss?
Marinating the cookie puss in which variety of so, are we? Well, hold on a second.
I believe we had moved to Fudgy the Whale, but we can.
Fudgy the Whale. If it's penetration involved, then the Fudgy the Whale would be.
What kind of secretions are we talking about here?
Secretions. Oh well, yeah. There are some that are more liquidy. Some are much more, more like gobs.
Viscous.
as long as it's viscous, I think we can allow it.
Just viscous, I'll allow. I'll allow.
All right. Then, yes, if we have penetration, Fudgy the Whale it shall be.
I think this is looking airtight.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Romantic Depot trip?
Romantic Depot, yes. I think that will work.
That's after Fudgy.
Then, yes.
Was there a Broadway musical involved?
I believe a comedy show.
Comedy show, right.
Free, which is good. So I can draw up the paper.
It's on Saturday, this Saturday, I believe. And it's free. Just making sure. Just making sure everybody knows.
Okay.
I think we've made peace for now. I think this is good. So you could tell your client to relax now that you've basically become his servant in a variety of ways. That we can basically call off this whole crazy embargo and go about our ways.
All right. I'll drop the paperwork. Have it to you by tomorrow morning.
Great. I'm so glad we could come to this temporary understanding.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to thank Mr. Tim Legalman for his advisory counsel, as well as the negotiating tactics of negotiation advocate Rogers, for making this all work, as well as the resurgence of Cookie Puss and Fudgy the Whale. Two names I haven't heard of in a long time. My mouth is beginning to water slightly, even more for Cookie Puss and Fudgy the Whale. And that brings us to the end of this disposition. I will end. We can end the call, gentlemen, and hopefully we won't have any more hiccups in the proceedings. Thank you all. Have a good night.
Pleasure negotiating.